Hey everybody, it's DeeWorks and welcome to DeeWorks Live TV. Well, today I'm going to be talking about the movie Django, and this will be my first movie review for 2013. Okay, first of all, today is January 1st, 2013, and yes, Django's been out since Christmas Day or whatever. This is the first chance I had to go and check it out. Well, first of all, I have to say that it was still a little crowded where I went to see the movie. There weren't that many of us in there, black people, I mean. But it was still good. I was just thinking, okay, wonder what these people are going to be thinking while they're watching this movie. But once the movie started, I just kind of got into it and I didn't really think about it or worry about it. So, Django, written by Quentin Tarantino, stars Jamie Foxx as Django, spelled D-G-A-N-G-O. But pronounced Django. The D is silent, as he says in the movie. With Leonardo DiCaprio, Samuel L. Jackson, Christoph Waltz, Kerry Washington, of course. Okay, let's see. I tried to just kind of keep an open mind when I watched the movie, but immediately right off, the very first thing I noticed was Jamie Foxx's hair. And I'm just thinking, okay, his hair looks too good. Why does his hair look like that he went to somebody that used Carol's daughter on his hair and just kind of shingled it and made those curls like really pop on there? It was nice and shiny or whatever. I'm sorry, these are things that I've noticed, that I noticed right off. The hair. I was just like, his hair looks too good, even though they call themselves trying to make his hair not look so good. So right off, you know, anytime you look at a movie that's supposed to be in the 1800s, 1858, I know for me, I immediately hone in on just little things that, I don't know, maybe other people probably wouldn't notice, like clothes and hair and makeup and all of those things. And I just have to say, I'm sorry, there was some things wrong with the makeup and the hairstyles in Django. Because, for example, when they got to Kerry Washington's character, she was in a hot box. She had been in this hot box for days or whatever. And, she, you know, they brought her out. And besides, you know, a little bit of nudity or whatever. And they said she had been running through the bramble bush or whatever. She looked pretty good to me. Like when they got her out and cleaned her up, you know, she didn't have any scars except for the one scar that was supposed to be on her face. She looked pretty good. And if you can come out looking like that after being in a hot box, I think I'm going to start using the hot box method because she looked pretty good to me. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what would be enticing about somebody that's been in a hot box for however many days and after trying to run away and running through bramble bush. I don't know. In the 1800s. I'm just saying. The other thing, there were just so many things. And the other thing was Quentin Tarantino. We know that he, you know, he takes a fancy to all of the blood and the guts and all of this kind of stuff. But really, like, come on. Some of it was just so overkill. It was just so much overkill. It was overkill on top of overkill. And the last I heard, if you shoot at someone, you know, with a body, then those bullets, particularly the bullets that they were using in these were shotgun blasts that were just like totally mangling bodies and, you know, body parts were splattering everywhere. But, you know, there was a point when Jamie Foxx was using the bodies as a shield and he didn't get hit. Like, come on. Hello? Come on. Not one time. You know, there's people that get shot through their walls when other people are shooting. So how could he have a body in front of him and they're shooting multiple times but he doesn't get hit? The bullets don't go through the dead body that he's using as a shield to hit him. I don't know. And then just so much blood, so much blood, so much blood. It was just, I understand, but it was like really overkill. The other thing that kind of didn't make sense to me was the fact that when Django and the doctor got to Leonardo DiCaprio's house, to Candyland, that even after saying whoever Django was, he was able to still, you know, talk his way into the big house to sit down at the table and eat. I'm sorry, I don't care how much of a Nat Turner type attitude you have or whatever. I just don't think that that would have happened. Okay, I know I should have just used my movie magic mind when I saw the movie, but it's like, if you're going to do this movie, these type of movies, you got to make some type of sense. It just wasn't that easy for any black person to just talk their ways into somebody's big house, to sit down at the table and eat dinner with them, sleep in their beds in the big house. I'm sorry, it just wasn't happening. I'm sorry. My movie mind just couldn't take me there. There were just so many things that just, in my opinion, just were not believable. It just really wasn't. And I know it's pretty hard to recreate those things, and it was just a story, but that's another point. What was the purpose of the story? What's the purpose of this story, Quentin Tarantino? Okay, except for entertainment, I guess, but I don't know how entertained I was. I just thought it was like, wow. Let's talk about Samuel L. Jackson's role. And I am kind of hopping around here. But Samuel L. Jackson, let's see. A lot of people didn't like your role in that movie. Acting-wise, I guess, and for the role that it was, I guess that was maybe the closest to how it was back then. Although I'm still not sure that you'd have a black person just being as obstinate and as obnoxious as he was, and just being that brazen and that bold. I just don't know, but he was a piece of work. I thought he acted the role very well. Should he have done the role? I don't know. Hey, it's a paycheck, I guess. It's a payday nowadays for black actors. I guess in some cases you take what role you can. Now, I was asked the question, would I have played one of the slaves in the movie? Would I have taken on one of those roles? Let me tell you something. If I don't have a major role, if I'm not going to get like a whole bunch of lines, I'm not playing any non-speaking slave roles. I'm just not going to do it. I'm sorry, not going to do it. So if I was to take a slave role, I guess I would have to be in a role kind of like what Samuel L. Jackson was in. So at least I have a bunch of lines. So at least I'm a memorable character, hated or loved. At least I'm there and not just somebody that passed by on the screen playing a slave. So no, I would not have just taken on a slave role walking down the street with something around my neck. Sorry, wasn't going to do that. But anyway, Leonardo DiCaprio as Candy. Excellent job. He's probably going to win an award, an Oscar or something for it, because his performance was absolutely amazing. He did an amazing job. And while I thought that Jamie Foxx did an excellent job as Django, it just, I don't think it was Academy Award winning, maybe, I don't know. Leonardo DiCaprio, he just sealed it. He just took you places in his role that just made you go like, oh my God, oh my God. I was scared of him. I was scared of him because he kind of came across so nice, but then when he flipped the script, he was something else. Also, the black women who were in Candy's little candy playland or whatever, come on. Okay, they had on too much makeup. Their hairdo was just like too modern. I didn't get it. It wasn't believable. I guess they were his concubine, whatever he wanted to call them, but it didn't come across that good. It just didn't. I didn't believe it. It was like, come on. I just kept sitting at the movie going, oh, right. Come on. I kept shaking my head like, no. Storyline-wise, there were things that happened that I just don't think that in a real scenario, Django and the Dr. Schultz could have gotten away with. I just don't believe that they could have gotten away with those things. No, because they just would have been shot dead on the spot. Although, now if you use your movie imagination, back in the Western days or those times, they did used to like to talk a lot. And they did like to, so what are you going to do? I'm going to shoot you and I'm going to do this to you. They used to like play that little role of talking to you and tell you how they were going to kill you before they kill you, which then gave you an opportunity to get the upper hand on them. But overall, being a black man back then, 1800s, coming in shooting up a town, no, I don't think you would have walked out of that town. I'm sure you would not have walked out of that town, whether you were a white man or not. It just was not going to happen. So, is it a must-see? I'm glad that I saw it on a discount day. I would not have seen it full price. Because I would not have seen it that way. Is it something you should see? Yeah, if you're bored and you just want to watch what everybody's talking about, yes. So overall, I think Django had a lot of problems as far as the aesthetics, as far as people's hair, people's makeup. At one point, I saw, if you check out the movie, you know, I see a lot of details. I saw that Kerry Washington's hair was one way on one shot, and then it was a different way when they came back to the shot. Those are little things that I noticed. Her acting, Kerry Washington, you go, girl. You better have face. That's what she did. She gave face in this movie, because Kerry Washington did not have that many lines, but honey, she can make some faces. Yes, she can. And she did her job in that respect. What's all these faces she make? I don't know, when she's crying. Okay. But, you know, for what was happening to her, and I don't want to like really give the movie away, she was Django's wife that he went to rescue and save and all this, and, you know, just again, makeup wise and all of this stuff, it just was not believable, because for the way that she looked, and for the fact that they sold her and she was kind of passed around and sold and all this type of stuff, and then kind of made into the, you know, the house bed warmer or whatever you want to call it, she would have been a little worse for wear than what they showed. And according to, I guess, a timeline, he didn't find her like as soon as they took her. I'm pretty sure it was a course of over a few years that she had been sold off into slavery, and it was his mission to try to find her and get her back and all of these things. But she just looked too doggone good for somebody who had been through all of that. They didn't show anything where she really, really got abused, and I'm not saying that we should have seen her getting raped, beat up, or anything like that, but like, come on. If you want to talk about slavery in the 1800s and how cruel people were, then that's a reality, and that's what really happened. And by the time he would have gotten to her, she definitely would have been some sort of damaged goods, really, like really, really damaged. Like, you know, even if she would have been a little crazy from having been, you know, mistreated and passed around or whatever. And I know that a lot of people were resilient back then, but come on. Like I said, if you can look that doggone good after getting beat to smithereens, after getting branded, after getting put in a sweat box or whatever, then I think I need to go jump in a sweat box real quick. Because some days I look a hot mess, probably even like right now. But that's what I got to say about that. So, Django, I'm only going to give Django a small, let's go, y'all. All right. This has been my first review on DeeWorks Live TV. Stay tuned for more reviews. I'll be doing book reviews, product reviews, movie reviews, and other things. All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you next time. Have a great 2013. Let's go, y'all.